good, but the show rolls on. Jake's pain sings a quiet song. In the sun where we all fall, wrestling rumors, wrestling brawls. Jake and Cody calling it raw. In the somewhere breaking the wall. Eclipse a suplex, dreams and chair shot screams. Fans in the chat throwing wild extremes. Jake's got crutches but his spirit won't bow. Cody laughs, Jake wipes his brow.
Calls a shot, Spaz breaks the game. Cody's in the fray, adding to the flame. Ladders they rise, fists hit the air. Chaos erupts without a care. Triple A's warriors, NXT's pride. Only one walks with glory inside. Into somewhere we scream and shout, breaking it down, no shadow. Into somewhere where we breaking it down. CM Punk, John Cena tearing up the town. Broke half on fire, no one spit it better. Reef wing like a beast, no one does it clever. Cena through elbows, Punk through shade. Chains clang, bodies bang, rivalry displayed. Slammed into the chains like lions in the cage. Toronto crowd wild, unleash all the rage. In the summer, in the summer. The Garden's buzzing, New York feel electric. Punk's fist cracking, Seth's got a death wish, hectic. Cody says, man, Punk looking hungry tonight. Jake nods, but Seth flips, guts all in a fight. Roman stomps through, Rex plans in his strut. Tribal chief with bad vibes, tearing it up. MSG crowd, stunned faces in the stand. Cody shakes his head, this again, damn man. Y'all believe in Joe Hendry's name, fighting through the fire in the wrestling game. Hearty soar like the legends they define. Knockouts fight, her power aligns. Mic drop, we analyze every bout, discussing every twist, don't leave a doubt. Predictions, insights, we break it all down. Into somewhere best critics around. Into somewhere we reviewing every bout, breaking down the moves, ain't no shadow of doubt. WWE heat, we bring that white hot flame. From prayer to gunner, we calling names. Yeah. Turnbuckle tension, the ropes might snap. Jake calling spots, Cody's laying the map. Spaz with the bent, or a joke, then a clue. Breaking it down for the hardcore crew. Into somewhere wrestling minds collide, breaking down the chaos, the truth won't hide. Briefcase in the air, who's taking the gold? We're diving deep, stories unfold. RKO hits like a freight train crash. Lights out cold in the WWE backlash. Eclipse.
Every twist, every turn. Jake and Cody bring the sound from the ropes to the ground.
What's going on, ladies and gents? Jake, aka Countdown Ended, here to go ahead and bring you all the NXT review. That's right. Hopefully everybody's doing well today. I'm not alone. As always, I've got the man, the myth, the legend with me, the one, the only, Cody O'Needy 316.
Give me a hell yeah.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Mr. Negativity himself.
Yeah. What?
I'm
Hey,
back to normal.
what happened to the background music? Hold on. I don't know why it stopped. There we go. All right. That's better. So how the hell are we tonight? November 4th, 2025, NXT in the bag. It was a very meh episode. Not a great outing. Not a bad show, but left a lot to be desired. You know, it's not like, hey, this was a bad episode in a fun
I
way.
think there's a difference between bad and boring.
Yeah, this was pretty bland. This was boiled chicken. So
See, people think boring is bad. Boring is not bad. They're two different things. I would say this is a boring show, not a bad show.
I agree, and pretty meh. Nothing horrendous, nothing bad, nothing terrible. Just a few lackluster,
This is like
moments
the
and
definition of what you would call a middle of the road show.
yeah, absolutely. Now it does have some building blocks towards the future, but none of them are like foundational or super important. They're all just little things added on to pre-existing stories. So it is building towards something else, but nothing like if you didn't tune in, it's not must see. And that's
Yeah,
not
if you
great.
didn't watch tonight, it's like there's nothing to go back and actually like, oh, you should watch this. Like it's like skippable. But
Yeah.
again, skippable doesn't mean bad.
No, I come to you very subdued, very exhausted. You can see it in my eyes. I haven't slept in days,
Because
and
in-ring stuff,
this was
again,
hard to
in-ring
get
stuff
through.
is good. But I've always said just because you have a good in-ring product doesn't
Excuse
mean
me.
you're a good show.
Yeah, you go ahead and you review NXT. I'm gonna take a nap. Okay.
Okay. You
All
take
right.
a nap and I'll review NXT. But before we review NXT, we have some Dominic Mysterio news. So
Oh,
apparently for
Fuck me.
Survivor Series, the 619 area code itself, you got Dominic not facing the Invisible Man, John China. You
Not
got
John
him facing,
China.
his deadbeat dad or
Yeah.
stepdad, because Dominic did threaten Rey Mysterio to keep his father's name out of that man. You know,
He did. He threatened.
which was a good line. That was.
He says he's the
going
king
back
of the
on that, I think that was
luchadors,
the
but
best.
Ray means king. You know, King Mysterio. So it's always like
People don't
king,
mean-
king, and
I tried to do that joke with Dominic, the real Rey Mysterio, and people are like, "Are you retarded?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like, "Do you not get what Ray means?"
they
He's
miss
calling
that.
himself the king of the
Mysterio.
luchadores.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, I'm like, that means Rey Mysterio. He's calling himself Rey Mysterio. What's not clocking?
People just miss that fact. They miss sixth grade
Yeah.
Spanish. Granted,
Most
Dominic,
people
yeah,
don't
he is
know
Prince
that
Mysterio,
Ray
but
means king. They just think it's Ray. Just
Yes.
normal. Yeah, so they don't.
a drop
actually
of
know the
golden
meaning
sun. Me, a name I call myself. Far,
But
a
So what do you
long,
think
long
of
way to
spreading-
run.
the John Cena Dominic
So-
IC title match.
A needle
I
from
think
a
you can
thread.
have all three of them involved. Are you done here?
Far. That comes after so.
All right. We are going to have a Jake DeMarco stinging little
La
thing right now. So go ahead.
T. And then goes back to do. No, go ahead. So NXT was it was fun and it was enjoyable. We're trying something new tonight. We have super ultra latency. So like when I'm streaming, this is live is about as close as you could get. We're coming at you in
Reagan
2K,
Mysterio.
not
That's what most
4K.
people think it is.
2K. You don't
Reagan
want me in
Mysterio.
4K, but 2K ultra swift latency. So I'm actually watching the YouTube here, and when I go, oh bam, this way, I can see how long it takes. Takes 1,000, 1,000, 2 seconds till I see myself react. That's pretty good. Bam. That is improved technology. Now, I've also worked really hard on the audio, like really hard. And today I had to take my computer apart. And thanks to my AI wife, it's running better than ever. So I replaced the cooler now for the actual, CPU itself. So that's all water cooled with the AIO. I got the new radiator in and everything's chill. What are we at now? 42 degrees Celsius, much better than the 88 starting. So that helps. And we got a new M.2 drive in that bad boy with our warranty. Look at that, because of our faulty drive. So Celsius makes my heart go, just skip a few beats trying to figure that out. Yeah, it's like a bomb 35 degrees Celsius. All right, I'm fine with that. I'll take it. Dom not facing John Cena.
A match?
I think it's better storyline wise. It makes more sense for him to face his father, I guess. Really, even though we've already been there, done that.
Facing Dom, not for Dom. He would be wanting the IC title, right? Ray wants to just kick Dom's ass.
Yeah, and they want to do it in a whale's vagina, better known as St. Diego or San Diego, for those of you not in the know. So that's pretty impressive.
Padre Stadium.
Yes, they want to go ahead and for Survivor Series War Games, have them go ahead and have the Battle of the Mysterios.
A Padre himself.
Seems like a pretty big no-brainer. Now, no matter what, whether he faces Ray or Cena, he's friggin' made. That kid is.
I think you can get all three of them involved.
You know what's funny? I wanted nothing to do with Dom when he first started. And I remember Seth trying to show like how tough this kid was in the Thunderdome era by beating him half to death with a cane. You remember that? He beat him with a kendo stick and he had welts up and down his body that were so excruciating just to look at. Never mind experience. Yeah. Like I got whipped with a belt. I know how that feeling is, and that he got a whoop in there. They beat his ass. Booker T certified. I like it. Oh, yeah, man. That's a whip crack from Booker T. And I think the only one to get whipped harder is our savior himself, Cody Rhodes Onidi. Cody Onidi Rhodes. Gotta make sure I got that right. So whip it good. I like it. Oh, yeah, man. He's just beating that ass. Yeah, no, I really think that's the case. But
who whooped whose ass? With what? With what marks?
I mean, Dominic, he went ahead and he got beat by Seth and his heel faction when he was first starting out. It's a prove yourself moment. And I remember being so sick of Dom being force-fed unto all of us that even when we got to the heel turn, I didn't enjoy it because he was just so.
I used to be there
like an industry plant in the sense of we knew that Ray didn't go to AEW because WWE offered to train his son. So obviously a good father's going to go with that decision and be like, yeah, that's excellent. That's what we want to do. Cummy bear, sorry.
And to not want Ray going to AEW.
No,
I think Vince overpaid. Also overpaid.
Yeah,
Ray, right?
a lot. And on top of it, he said, we'll bring Dom in. That's how it worked here. I was like, got to deal with Cody, and everybody came in flying.
There's no way in hell Vince was.
We've been banned on TikTok since as well. So I mean, make of that what you will.
I mean, I guess you can do something to build up the. I guess Ray versus Dom makes the most sense at Survivor Series, though, because it's in San Diego. But
yeah,
if the rumor is still true about John Cena versus Dominic, like for the IC title, if that's still the plan, how do you get Ray involved? Is he like the special guest referee?
I don't know. That's kind of the thing at this point in time. From what I've read and heard both ways, is that they want him and his father to face off. It doesn't have to be for the IC title. So does that
it should not be for that title.
But does that mean that he drops the belt beforehand? What if he faces Cena at either Raw? Because we have no idea of what Cena's doing. Supposedly he's wrestling at Survivor Series, and then they moved Saturday night's main event from Boston. Remember, all year we thought it was supposed to. Well, it was originally scheduled to be in Boston. Now they've moved it to bring in top government officials. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Let's keep this one on the air a little bit longer. So they did all of that to get the House of White involved, and now it's in DC.
I would say more has an orange color, not
But
white.
but my point is, loud and clear, we go ahead and we move the venue away from Cena's hometown because of different types of optics. Fine. It's a show dedicated to him. So now they're finally doing this tournament. They've got people's ideas running wild. We saw Joe Hendry tonight. He appeared.
Say his name and
He shows up. And exactly what happened. I love me some Hendry. I don't want him to turn into a meme. They've got to do more than just the appearance thing with him. They've got to let him keep having
They can't do
promos
that
and
in
matches.
WWE because if he signs with WWE, I think he's gonna find a new gimmick quick because that'll get stale.
He's more than
it's
just the
funny right
entrance
now,
already,
but
but they're not letting him be that. They're kind of like,
he's just a meme.
shoehorning him into that because he can appear. It's
He's just a
funny,
meme.
but I know he can cut great promos. He could do parodies. He could make songs. He could perform live. But he's also damn good in the ring. So like, he's a multifaceted talent. Let him go nuts. Don't just make him pop up every now and again.
Overkill jokes. WWE does that with Joe Hendry.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting to the point now. Like, it's fun. Everybody thought he was going to pop out of the cake, and then he just walks out. That's great. Subvert expectations. And then it's Thea Hale popping out of the cake, and they're going to be challenging for those mixed match titles. Watch. NXT is going to steal, not procure, steal, like Thugonomic style, steal those mixed tag titles from AAA, and they're going to take them over on WWE. Those are gonna become the NXT mixed tag belts. 6 months, give it. I guarantee you. I guarantee you, it's a steal. They're gonna steal them. It's a steal. I did enjoy certain aspects of tonight. Nothing was bad. Nothing was heinous and insulted our intelligence. It just wasn't exciting. It wasn't top-notch feeling or important. It didn't have that, gravity of the situation where it pulls you in. You're like, oh, there was nothing too serious, nothing too funny, it was all just very run-of-the-mill, predictable, and bland. And like we said before, predictability is not bad. You can still surprise people with a predictable outcome. It's about how you do it.
Yeah.
But tonight, the matches, man, every single one, you knew who was going to win before they won, long before. There was no surprises, and it kind of just was what it was.
There's predictability to lead you into the next show, but then there's predictability where, like, okay, I don't give a shit.
You're not wrong.
Two different kinds of predictability in WWE, and I've always said this. People said I'm an idiot for this as well, but I think sometimes predictability is better than unpredictability.
Yeah, no, I agree, because at least then things are consistent and worth your time. You actually can see that based on, if something's predictable, it means that it's following a certain logical series of steps that makes sense. Hey, who would have thunk it, sir? Who would have thunk it? Right? Well, before we get into all that in NXT, we're going to go quickly through our predictions from last week in the NFL. How did we fare together? And on top of it,
who won?
We're going to find out who won. And then tomorrow night, you and I will make our new predictions. I know.
I think they have, I don't know how many. Did you see Jaden Daniels' arm?
No. I heard about it, but I didn't see it. You have to send me the clip.
We're going to show oh my God. That was horrific.
Sounds brutal. Yeah, I definitely want to see that. So... yeah, sign me up.
They I don't know who's not injured anymore. They had like 10 injuries that game. Their season is.
Yes, I saw that, Casey. Some of that's getting hit, but wait, I did see that. That was funny. You had a funny video of WWE AI. It was changing WrestleMania to the dreaded Middle Earth, as we like to call it now. I'll give you a little clue.
You got your.
We talked about how much this win.
So, yeah, we made some predictions, and we're gonna see how you and I fared with them. We'll find out.
While we do that, put that photo up there while we do it, just so everyone can get that visual.
They probably have to look it up themselves if it's anything. Yeah, if it's too grotesque, people look at that. I
don't
definitely
think
know
it's
that
that
hurts,
bad.
but
Look at
you'd
it.
be
I don't think
surprised.
it's-
People get taken down for less. Yeah, right, Sir Pico, indeed. But granted, I want to
You think
know
that's too
how did our
graphic to
mind?
show?
It might be for some whiny viewers.
What's that
Granted,
look like to you, though? That's
let's see. We started off where I'm on the left, you're on the right. We both said the Ravens. How did we fare on
the
that?
Ravens did win.
All right, so we got that. Or I should do it like this. Da, da, da. All right, what about the 49ers? We both said yes on that one.
49ers won.
Look at that. All right, we're doubling it up. Then we went agreed on the Chargers.
Yep. Win.
So that's 3 for 3 there. Lions.
Vikings won.
Look at that. So alrighty. Next, the Patriots.
Won.
All right. Steelers, Colts.
Steelers won.
Oh, I got it.
Patriots did win. If you didn't catch that, though.
Yeah. I got that for us. Broncos, we both said.
Broncos won.
All right. Bengals and Bears.
The Bears won.
Ooh, so we're back to 0. We're tied up again. We both said Packers.
Panthers won.
That doesn't really hurt us much, but still, we're still all tied up at essentially back at 0 or 1 apiece. Excuse me. Saints, Rams.
Rams won.
Oh, you got me there. So now you're up 2-1. Wrong one. That's it. Raiders, Jaguars.
Jaguars won.
Oh, you're 2 above me. So you're 3-1. All right. Chiefs and Bills.
The Bills won.
Oh, 4. And then Seahawks won
Yep.
over the Washington. And we both said the Cardinals.
Injured skins. Cardinals won.
Look at that. So you were +4 over me. Correct, sir. Not bad.
So
So
my overall record.
you went what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you had 10 here. And I had how many right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? No, right here. 8. I had 8. You had 10.
You had a better week.
You had 10 correct. So
Wow. I did pretty good, huh?
yeah.
don't
So
know
out of
much about
14, I went
football,
what,
but-
8 and 6. So I got 6 wrong there, and you got 4. Right? Is that? Whoa. Let's
Yeah.
see here. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And the 4 I got wrong. I'm shocked. Those fucking Panthers beating the Packers. I'm shocked.
So this week on
what
Into
other
Somewhere
ones did I get wrong?
Weekly.
The Lions, Vikings, right? I got that wrong.
Yeah, you got
I know I got those 2 wrong. What other 2 did I get wrong?
you make me do the Colts. You got wrong,
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked about that. too.
and Washington is the other
I'm
one.
actually not shocked about that one. So here's what I'm going to do. The reverse magic. So starting tomorrow, I'm already going to give an early prediction. I'm going to just say Redskins are going to lose
Oh,
from
look
here
at
on out.
that!
And
No
hopefully,
faith.
well,
No
everyone's injured.
faith. I know. So we'll be live with Into Somewhere Weekly this Wednesday. Come hang out with us. We're going to be previewing and discussing Survivor Series, AEW Full Gear, and more that's coming up. NXT Deadline. We've got news about a lot of things coming up. We're also going to be previewing the John Cena tournament, who the other entrants might be. This upcoming Monday on Raw, it's John Cena's final appearance as a wrestler in his hometown because they're going to be in Massachusetts for this one. Charlotte and Alexa are taking on the Kabuki Warriors. for the women's tag titles. So that's going to be a hell of a match. Stephanie Vacquet is taking on Raquel Rodriguez for the WWE Women's World Championship. And then Rusev taking on Damian Priest in the Last Time Is Now tournament opening match. Followed by Sheamus taking on Shinsuke Nakahama, not Nakamura. He's also in the Last Time Is Now tournament opening round match. So the winner of the 16-man tournament is going to face John Cena in his final match on the December 13th edition of Saturday Night's Main Event, airing on Peacock, emanating from Washington, D.C. at the Capital One Arena. The next 4 entrants will be announced this Friday on SmackDown, which we have Ilya Dragunov hosting his Open U.S. Championship Challenge. Julia taking on Chelsea Green to have Chelsea Green try and stop Julia from breaking her record as longest women's U.S. title holder. Charlotte is taking on Nia this week. Alexa got her last week, so they're both trying to get some refrigerator revenge. Ray Phoenix takes on the taller of the Tongas, Tala Tonga, not Tonga Loa, not Tama Tonga, not Tim Tam, not Flim Flam, and not Bim Bam, but Tala Tonga, the tallest of the Tongas. It's going to be from Greenville, South Carolina. You know that shithole, right? That's what you were saying before? Hole in the wall, Greenville, South Carolina, nothing but podunk, steers, and queers. That's what you were saying. You, earlier.
Me?
Yeah, you were going off, and I was like, oh, Jesus, listen to your opinions, man of the South, huh?
I did not say that.
You were also trying to tell me that Raw, the October 27th edition, had 2.3 million viewers. This was down from the week before at 2.6 million global viewership. That was for the October 20th edition. It finished 8th on Netflix for most viewed weekly shows after finishing 6th the week before. They faced very stiff competition because they had Monday Night Football, they had World Series Game 3, and they had something else on ESPN that took up 8 million viewers. So whatever else was on the Ocho, human kebabbing or something. But the Raw numbers released were very, very good still, despite the extremely stiff competition. I'd like to see what AEW is going to say about the second lowest rating they got last week. What's their excuse this week going to be now that the World Series is over? So a lot to discuss this Wednesday into Somewhere Weekly. Friday, we've got our SmackDown review. Feels weird to not go ahead and have any PLEs for the weekend. Am I crazy? I feel like we've had one pretty much every week since before SummerSlam, since like Evolution, I feel like.
Yeah, we did have one almost every weekend. I don't remember
because there was then TNA. If it wasn't something big with TNA, like Bound for Glory, take up the weekend, then it was something with AEW. If it wasn't them, then we were, something with AAA. It's just yeah. We started to say before, I think there's good money in Dom and his dad facing each other in their hometown. Like they could still draw a big crowd with that and do a lot with it, but I worry that because they need other matches at the pay-per-view besides the War Games match, but I think the better the matches would be Cena.
They were being like fickle here with the whole, because they were chanting Dirty Dom while Ray was trying to talk.
They're going all with Dirty Dom. He's their it guy right now. He's genuinely over.
Get booed?
Yes. Maybe not booed, but he'll get less cheers. People don't want to boo Ray, but they don't want to cheer him as much as they want to cheer Dom. They want to see Dirty Dom come out there and win. So,
if this is my whole thing, people were shocked about a John Cena heel turn. I think if Dominic turns babyface with Liv Morgan, I would say turn Ray heel.
Yeah.
Call me crazy, but
I think it'd be a good way to flip it. You could do something interesting. Maybe.
Dominic was right. He is a deadbeat.
Right? You just go full into it. Just really piss people off. Could be funny. Yeah. Dom should be Cena's last match. Yeah, Gunther doesn't need it. Gunther shouldn't be the last one. It should be a Joe Hendry. It should be like somebody that you want to really put over a Dominic Mysterio. I don't think Joe Hendry. I think Joe Hendry should get a match. I don't think he should be the final opponent. And I'm one of his biggest fans.
Because I they
Yeah.
could end up doing and
Let him show
doing
up this week and get a match. We don't know if we're getting matches on the final 2 Raw appearances, though. We know we're getting the tournament, but it seems like we're just getting appearances from John, and that
Dom and
really
Cena
sucks.
altogether.
I wonder if we
Like,
get no
I
matches
think
and we
that's a
get
match you need. You know?
Survivor Series, and then we get a match. You don't really
Okay.
need it. I mean, people are saying he has to win the IC title, but Cena said himself he
No,
doesn't care.
need to.
He doesn't worry
But
about
I
the
would-
title. So
Here's my thing though: if he's not facing Dominic at Survivor Series, he's going into the War Game.
no, he's not going in the War Games. They already made
And
that
what else
clear.
is he doing?
I don't know.
He's at Survivor Series. He's having a match.
Yeah, that's the thing. So that's what makes me still think that we'll see him and Dom. I feel like that's what's gonna
That's
happen.
why I say have Ray be the special guest referee, because John Cena's
Yeah.
going to be the type of guy that says, "Don't help me just because your son's an asshole. Call it right down the middle." And I say have
It
Dominic
could work
beat
certainly,
Cena,
but
and it's going to hurt Ray that he has to count to 3 to make his son victorious. Like in
yeah,
that
there's
match.
tons of storytelling to it. But I think the better thing of all that they
Because Ray will have to call it right down the middle. You think
yeah,
he
he'd
would?
have to count. Oh yeah, he would. He's a man of his word. He's a face. He's gonna fight
Cena's
for
going to tell
honor.
him to.
for honor.
Cena's going to tell him to call it right down the middle.
For honor.
And then Dominic's going to find a way to win, and it's going to suck for Ray to have to count to 3
For
and raise his
honor.
son's hand once again. Yes, for honor.
There we go.
Or honor. Or,
Should have shocked the shit out of you.
well, I was just getting to my point.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck?
Uh-huh. Yeah, it doesn't
Ow.
last all day, does it? Yeah. Hurry this shit along. Let's go. Chop chop. No, I that would be great because then Dom gets the win. His father has to count the 3 count. Cena gets
And raise his hand.
beat. It's fun. It's something to do. John's all about putting people over. His last match being against Gunther. We heard that reported back in January that was a rumor. And now with everything happening and we know that Gunther's coming back soon, the shoes at first walking down the hallway, I thought was going to be for Gunther. Then I thought maybe Santos. And I'm like, maybe they're doing Obafemi, but Gunther doesn't wear socks. We went through all this. It was crazy, but ends up being just a thing for Vegas Mania 2 and Electric Boogaloo. I'm not stoked with what we got there, but hey, what are you going to do about it? That's kind of just the thing. And I
One
mean,
more question, not to harp on Ray and Dom.
yes.
If you don't do this at Survivor Series, do you do it at AAA show? I think this needs to be on a main WWE stage again.
Yeah, they wouldn't do both of their main stars in AAA. It
Or
would be, the only way they're doing AAA is when they mix it up with the AAA brand people.
Finn's still pissed that he had the Dom got them put in a title match where they lost. So maybe Finn goes to Adam Pearce and says he brags about having 2 championships. How about he has to face both Ray for the Mega Championship at Survivor Series and John Cena for the IC title? Let him
Yeah, I
have
don't think
2
it'll
matches.
happen, but could be something
Finn
interesting.
could get his revenge that way.
I hope we
putting-
even get a match at
Making
this
Dom wrestle
point.
twice.
What if they're not
making
having
Dom wrestle
Cena
twice.
wrestle again until the last match in DC?
Well, then what's
And
he doing
don't
at
say-
Survivor Series?
Nothing. Watch him not even be there. I mean, he's not officially advertised.
advertised.
He's advertised as card subject to change. Is my point. Like we don't have a match for him yet. We don't have. They have
That's
nothing
one
in
of his dates
concrete.
left.
That is, but what I'm saying is like it's not a given that he has to wrestle. So he shows up
Well,
on Raw,
be there
cuts a
in some
promo,
capacity.
and come out and do what? Hump Stew the cameraman and tell everybody how much he loves them. Make sure we're gonna crown the winner of the tournament now. Let's see, and I could picture him doing that for 3 weeks straight, no match, and then it builds into his final match. I would be so disappointed. I'm not saying that this is 100% what's happening, but I could see them doing that. I really
I
could.
like my idea better.
I didn't say I
Right,
didn't like
yes.
your idea better. I agree with you. It's not what I
Or the idea.
want. I
Ideas
just
do you like? What?
here's
better
well
than
here's
what
what
you
they
like
want to
want.
do. They want to push Cena's last match as like a huge commodity, not only in the sense of like last time you'll see him, but ticket wise too. They want to scalp the hell out of people. They want to raise this super high and make it a spectacle. How do you do that? You don't have John wrestle until then. You just hype up the shit out of it. My last match is my final match. My last match is my. He comes out and says it on both Raws, and then the winners announced at Survivor Series, and they stare each other down, and then we wait until that's how they get the rest of that building sold for their astronomical asking prices. I know just the nosebleed cheapest seat against the wall was $350, and that's when they were in pre-sale. God knows what they are now with scalpers, resellers, and all the rest of the market. So I'm not saying I agree. I like your idea better, especially Ray having to count the 3 count is great. Problem is,
which idea did you like more? Where Finn gets revenge on Dominic making telling Adam Pearce to make
I don't see
both titles on the line. 2 matches.
No, if Finn was going to do that, he would just turn on him. I don't see Finn just outright because then Dom's going to have to go back and get revenge.
What matter? Like you made us put our titles on the line.
I think it goes a step too far, and that's more of a betrayal thing. I think that just the way to go is having Ray count the 3 count on, Cena's shoulders being down. That's all you need to have happen. And that's strong enough. Ray is the referee that has to make his son the winner.
He's going to say, raise my damn hand.
Yeah, see? Writes itself.
And he's going to have to do that again. Because he did that, because that was the agreement for that AAA show, right? And then
yeah, Finn will get his hands on him at some point in time. It's just funny that everyone thinks Dom's going to be the face, but really Finn's in the right. Dom's been a shithead. Dom has not done anything except be totally deplorable.
Finn has been a shithead as well.
Not really. I mean, he's done a lot for Dom, and Dom's done nothing but cause him fucking headache after heartache. He's screwed him over. He's cost them titles. He's cost them titles again. He's cost them matches. He's cost them opportunities. He's gotten their asses beat over things. Like Dom has put them through a whole world of hurt and demands help all the time. As where Finn he's like, no, we'll handle it ourselves. And then Dom still goes out there and messes it up. So, I mean, I think Finn has every right to be mad. That's kind of the problem, though. You have a heel that's relatable. When we're younger, we like the heroes because they're infallible and they have.
Well, you like a relatable heel, right? Look at Drew McIntyre.
But that's the point. That's what I'm saying. As kids, we like the heroes because we infantilize the idea of being able to withstand whatever, so have superpowers, whatever the idea is. That's what you want.
Well, maybe some people are right because people are saying Liv and Dom are going to be the heels.
But when you're older, you go ahead and you realize, like, hey, what makes a good villain is one that you can relate to, and doesn't mean they're right. Just means you can see their reasoning. Why? You can see like, hey, this is what's going down. This is what needs to happen. And I understand why they've come to this crazy conclusion. I understand why they're wiping out half the galaxy. I get why they're, saying all women can't drive. I get it, Yeah. Granted, it's just, I don't know. I think that's the better option. I just worry that TKO wants nothing but money. How do they make more money? They make this supply and demand even more of a demand. How? Don't let John wrestle at the next 3 and make him wait to the last date to wrestle. I can see them being shitheads. And what really sucks, John is a good soldier. He's a loyal businessman. He should have been able to see that this sucks. You guys have no plan in place. They're going to go nuts over the turn. Then you guys left me in the water to fucking drown without a life preserver. What is wrong with this? But John doesn't speak up for himself. We saw it on the Unreal show for whatever they let us see or not, if that's legitimate, but we hear it all the time. He just does what he's told and he doesn't question it. So when we get him in these positions and we see like, oh, that really sucked. I'm glad they realized it sucked and they finally did the about face. It was a very awkward face turn that was so rushed. But guess what? They finally realized like all we're doing is digging the hole deeper. We need to do something quickly. Hit the eject button. They made him face. He apologized to the crowd. He hugged the kid that he motherfucked up and down, and that was it. I mean, he also went ahead and the child, but I don't want to say too much. I mean, but with both, he went ahead and so.
Well, on that note, I gotta bounce for a little bit. And
yes, indeed, my good friend. Thank you so much.
Live for long, or?
Not too long. I am exhausted, and we're going to get through NXT. But tell these people where they can find you, my good friend.
You can find me over on my Twitter or X, whatever you like to call it nowadays, at Judgment Day Era. You can find me over on my YouTube. I know I still need to post gaming content. I don't know when that's going to happen, but Jake finds me every day, I guess, until I do. So
Do
that
it.
will be happening soon, I promise, and we'll get that figured out soon. And on Instagram, no longer a Judgment Day shill because of reasons, I guess. Can't make jokes anymore in 2025. But that's at Cody_Onidi_316.
That's right. Thank you so much, my
Give me a
friend,
hell yeah.
for being here.
Alrighty,
Tomorrow we have a
you're welcome.
bunch of news and updates and everything else under the sun for Into Somewhere
Hell yeah.
Weekly. Going to be a lot of fun, so make sure you catch us then. And that'll lead right into the Spaz Phoenix State of Wrestling that him and I go ahead and do before that. So that'll be up for you guys to listen. Bunch of great topics on there. What do you want? Why is the unicorn sopping wet? Ugh. All right. I thought it was just the cummy bear. Oh, thanks, Cody. We appreciate it. You know, I wanted to like NXT. Even Mr. loves NXT, Spaz Phoenix himself. Cheap plug, check him out where all podcasts could be found. Spaz Phoenix Podcast, also in the description box down below. We go ahead and get a message from him saying it was meh. And I'm like, yeah, I know, it was pretty meh, unfortunately. This was not a great night. I was hoping for more. But I will say this, I did figure out the latency issue. So now what you see is what you get. I will demonstrate in 1 second. We're going to see how long it takes to do a playback. So I'm going to give you a couple seconds of silence, and I'm going to make an obnoxious noise. And then you'll see. We'll count. Ready? See. We'll count. Ready? One 1,000. Two 1,000. One 1,000. So it's about 2 seconds off. Look at that. That's science. Woo! Thank you for helping me do. No, we're about 2 seconds off of the latency now. So when we play things like the games last night, people in the audience can not have to worry about, hey, I ran out of time to draw my picture. Now we'll have that issue fixed. Hopefully the sound is sounding better, more like sound. I should sound good in sound. Now, clear sound. Thank you very much. And for those of you not on the YouTube, make sure you're following us on there, youtube.com/Jake DeMarco. Give us a follow, give us a thumbs up. We appreciate it greatly. Make sure you're subscribed and turn on the bell. So NXT tonight, November 4th, 2025. Kicking it off with the culling from the Performance Center, Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dame with Sean and Nico, with Lola Vice on their side, 6 women's tag with Fatal Influence on the heel side. It was a really good match. Nothing great, but good. It was about JC surprising Izzy, and she sacrifices herself instead of letting Tatum get hit with the finisher. And then she ends up pinning her and wins. So JC gets the win, and she's basically saying, see, I'll get my title back. But it was about Tatum, you know, being too much into dancing with Lola and being distracted. And now, you know, it was a fun match. It's not all that I'm hoping for with Tatum, though. She's damn good, and I hope not all of her run is involved with the culling stuff. It probably will be. And that's a bit concerning. I get why, but I was kind of hoping she would have some individual feud or story on her own that didn't revolve entirely around the group. We'll still see what's to come, but I don't know, because JC Jane is going to try and get a rematch, take her on again, so probably at Deadline, she'll be one of the participants for that match, and they'll get everyone, you know, all right, I got my rematch, Tatum still has the title, and then she'll move on to the next person, but I don't know who they're going to have that next person be. We'll see who that turns out to be, but they certainly got options. Jordan Grace not there tonight after getting hit with the belt, but she will be there soon enough. Lee said Jordan is disrespectful to the title, and she's going to take the title off of Kalani herself. So fun little backstage. Which one is the skateboard lady? Wasn't that Cora Jade, right? When she first started? or Soul Ruka the Surfer. Kalani Jordan comes out to cut a promo, and people on Twitter were like, "Oh, she's cooking, she's doing great." I thought she sounded a bit like a screaming banshee. I know Cody was a little bit ahead of me, and at one point he goes ahead and says, "Ow, my ears," and I was like, now I get it. She was very loud, very screechy, yelling. She's like, "I have been a standout since my tryout in Nashville," but she's saying in a very nasally, whiny voice. And I get she's not a full heel yet, but she's supposed to come across as one. But it's just not working as well as it can be. And funny enough, it's like, hey, what are you gonna do? You got people want to see you succeed, but I don't know. I did not like this promo. It was not good at all. And she's like, basically, it was very generic. She said the crowd only cares about who fits in their narratives and girls with fat asses and catchphrases. So everyone's going to go nuts about that line. And I mean, really, she's basically saying she's not going to be like Tatum. She's not going to hand out title shots. It's time for her to be selfish. And she's going to take a break during Gold Rush because there's no one worthy of a title shot. She said Li Lee isn't on her radar. And she's like, even the title match that she won the vacant title in, no one was impressive. So she's like, you can call me a traitor. You can say I'm disloyal or whatever. But the one thing you need to know is that you need to call me champion. And she spikes the mic, yeet, and is getting ready to walk out of there. It makes sense, but the way it was delivered left a lot to be desired for me. She was scream yelling a lot of these, she was really trying to be emphatic with what she was saying, but it wasn't always believable. It just, again, screechy mess. I wish I had a better example than that. Let's see if I can, on the fly, find one, because it's making me wonder. I don't know how best to describe it, but let's see here. We're going to go ahead and go through. We're going to find a clip because they can't kill me and take away everything, right? Right, folks. Yeah, here we go. Perfect. There we go.
They fits their little narratives. Girls with fat asses and catchphrases, when what they should be caring about is I am the most elite athlete that's got foot in this ring.
Like it's not a bad promo of what she's saying. It's just how it's delivered. It's very screechy and very hard to take serious. The crowd is very good, but this crowd is good about everything. They are very excited. They're at the Full Sail Arena. Of course they're good. It's one of the smarter crowds. They're internet savvy. They read the dirt sheets. I don't know. It's just it leaves a lot to be desired, And people, Tatum, when she started out 4 years ago, she was a cheerleader and a power lifter. And to see the transformation that she's had is insane. I mean, look at this here, just looking up for NXT. She looks like a completely different person with the lighter skin, the makeup around her eyes being dark. She's got the goth mommy thing like Rhea does. So huge difference there. She's come a long way. She's really honed in on this character. She did her best to develop it. Kalani Jordan always felt a bit like that spoiled princess gimmick when she was, kind of the face, but still coming across as a heel. It was very Nepo-esque, and I don't know. She just doesn't work for me. It's loud. It's annoying, and people are going to say, well, that's the point. It's supposed to... No, it's not that kind of heel where it's like, oh, I can't wait to see you get attacked, and I want to see you lose a title. It's, I need to, pause this until I can skip ahead and not have to listen to her. So, the fat asses and catchphrases is it's basically calling out shallow fans. Oh, you only care about... the women's looks and that's it. But we're so beyond that now. I mean, I even was complaining yesterday that the girls need to have less of their assholes out at this point. I said, as much as I love to see it coming from a girl dad side of things, it'd be nice to not have to overly over sexualize yourself. Like even the guys, they're in Speedos, they're in trunks, but then a lot of them, you know, wear shirts and full gear and all, you know, like they don't have, you don't have to wear a Speedo to get ahead in the wrestling world as a guy. Not anymore, you know, you don't have to have the biggest muscles, you don't have to be the most fit, you don't have to be the tallest, any of those parameters. But for a girl, you see firsthand how difficult it is. And a lot of them, I don't know if it's just pressure or they, hey, if you like it, you want to be yourself, that's fine. But I hope they don't feel like they have to. It's like, oh, if I don't have my ass cheeks in you know, showing with fishnets right now, people aren't going to care. And there's no better example about that besides friggin' Nikki Bella. People call her horrible names like and all sorts of tacky shit. Because why? Everything that went down with Cena, I don't get it. He's an ass with 1,000 house rules. She might be a little eccentric, but I always thought he was the bad guy in that one. That's my personal opinion, Judge. Granted, Nikki has to show her ass, you know, so we're talking about the tights she has to wear and how she has to present herself with such a way with the gear. And she's a mom now, you know, she's got children, she's got a husband, she's got all these things. But I'm not saying you can't be sexy as a mom. That's not what I'm trying to get across here. But what I'm saying is, you know, does she feel like she has to? Is that her only way to get attention? And it kind of is, because then when she wears the gear that's even more wedged up her ass crack, she goes viral on Twitter, and then she's retweeting all the memes about it. Her in LA Knight sunglasses, her bumping down, you know, all the different edits that people put up, she's retweeting. So now it becomes this perpetual cycle of, oh, well, if I make an edit of her shaking her ass, she's going to retweet it. And then that's the only thing that people focus on because that's what she's responding to. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, basically, is what I'm trying to get out. Stoner Jake just rambling in the wind here. I should let me go ahead and I should have gone ahead and been prepared, folks. I do apologize. Usually I try to be, you know, spot on, but 1-800 dial a co-host. And I'm curious to see how this works, but we'll find out, you know. We'll see. So, how do I go ahead and let's see here. All right, there we go. What did you think of NXT tonight?
I thought it was pretty fun. They had some solid matches, and there were definitely some surprises and good storytelling going on.
Hi there. Nice to meet you.
To you from tonight's episode?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Of course, I thought it was a pretty fun episode. There were some solid matches and a few surprises, plus good storytelling throughout. Was there anything in particular that stood out to you from tonight's NXT episode?
No, that's great. Thank you, Robot Cody. Again, my AI wife. I don't know why I named you Cody, but 1-800 dial a co-host. Thank you so much. No, El Grande Americano frustrates the hell out of me. This feels like a gigantic waste of time for everybody involved because now you're taking away a spot from people on NXT. Essentially, you're taking away a spot that 3 people could have had. A la High Rise used to be in this situation. You would get Wesley, and then, you know, he would have the rest of his guys behind him, and they would be Bravo and El Rayo with 9 R's and 4 O's and 7 Q's. Like, I don't care about any of them. It's not funny anymore. The crowd might chant along with it, but they literally celebrated and went along with everything tonight. You can't go by, you know, just it. I believe some of the online negativity at times, like around Jay, like around, you know, certain topics, because not only, and even when it doesn't align with what I'm thinking, it's still, you could see the sentiment behind it usually is, hey, I like this show, I like this product, and what you're putting on is pretty substandard. Triple H has let a lot fall through his fingertips. A heel Cena should not have been, that should have been a home run in the easiest of ways. They had magic in a bottle. They brought back viewers that hadn't watched in a decade. People that last saw Cena when he was embracing the hate with Kane. Zack Ryder was flying off the stage. Matt Cardona didn't exist yet. Woo, woo, woo. You know it. Wrong woo. You get the point. I want more because I know they can do it. They have the talent for it. Everybody that they had when they were firing on all cylinders is still there, and they've got, if not, some even better ones. I mean, think about it. The Tony Fumble Rumble, as people like to call it. All of these people that were in AEW that meant so much to them at one point in time. And what happens? What does it come down to here? What do we got? They're all champion. Ricky, Jade, Punk, Cody, Blake, even Ethan. They're all champion. So does that say a lot about Tony Khan and AEW and their mismanagement of talent and how they don't know a great talent when they have one and how they handle them? Or does it say more about WWE that they can't not so much develop, but enhance their in-house talent enough and they have to rely on the independents or from elsewhere and make those people their champion because they can't elevate people internally enough to make them successful, a la LA Knight, a la Drew McIntyre. You know, they're over like hell, but they just can't get to that true champion level. You know, it's just the brass ring. They can't get it, they can't grasp it, and it's so close. And we're wasting spots with El Grande Americano. You want to do it? Go do it on AAA. It doesn't belong on NXT because none of you are from NXT. There's no reason for you to be there except for the Speed title. And that makes it even more ridiculous. This wasn't for the Speed title like I thought it was going to be. So this kind of went on a lot longer than it needed to. I will say this, even with the VPN, they brought you to the "We'll be right back" screen. There was an egregious amount of commercials tonight. For some reason, I feel like as the last few weeks, they've gotten more intrusive and more repetitive. It's the same commercials over and over. And then, you know, the Real American Beer, Battlefield 6, you know, just like over and over. Kraft and Velveeta, let's go ahead and make some better. I don't know how long people have, like on the VPN service, they've already started including ads now. So I used to watch, I was like, oh, I can watch Raw and NXT on Netflix. Great. Even SmackDown. Cool. Now, not so much. It's not working. People are seeing ads, and I think that's a load of BS as well. But they want to make more money, and they're going to do it any way they can. The ring is littered. Remember when we were like, oh, we don't even want one advertiser in the center of the ring. Every inch of that mat is basically covered on the outer rim and even the inside. The LED boards show different ads throughout the night. Matches are brought to you by different sponsors. We have a fucking Slim Jim table. A fucking Slim fucking Jim table. Snap into it. I mean, but this is what we got. That's what's baffling because you feel like the fans would be against this, but they're not. They're cheering for El Grande. They like the silly shit. And I'm not saying it can't not be funny, but everything they did in this match was just typical stock and, you know, shtick interference nonsense. It was a poorly wrestled as a luchador match. This does nothing for Ludwig. All right, gets him over more in Mexico, then let him be there in AAA and take advantage of the momentum. Here, it's taking away from your other talents. Briggs shouldn't have lost. He loses to a backstretch submission. I don't care how many cheap shots they laid in. You guys have been building Briggs for weeks now as this monster heel. He doesn't get the first time, you know, trying to take Femi down. So now he's snapped, he's lost it, he's turned, he's attacking people. He's vicious, he's winning matches, and you have him get beat by El Grande Americano. Smack my ass and call me Susan. You wonder why I'm upset. I don't like them making him an enhancement match. You know, for Briggs. I don't like El Grande being used at all, especially on NXT. And it's not that it couldn't work, but there's no story to it right now. What's the story? He's pretending to be El Grande, so they're letting them wrestle. So what's the story? Why? What is the Well, he couldn't get booked as Ludwig, so say that. Do something. Give us something of a reason as to why he needed to be Ludwig Kaiser or why we need El Grande booked in the first place. Give us anything. We had a split screen interview between Ricky and Trick. They were both backstage, but they thought this would work better to keep them apart. And they laid into each other. Trick is like, guess what? I'm second to none. And Ricky said, instead of being a man, you hold the show hostage, like, you know, because you can't let go of your ego. Look at how you threw a fit last week. He's like, you know, Trick had 1 foot out the door since I've been here. You got 1 foot in NXT, 1 foot out. And you only see the title as a security blanket, but it's the representation of a man that works hard. And he holds up the belt. Ricky was cooking and a half here. He says, I could take NXT to new heights that Trick failed to do. And Trick, you take everything for granted, but not me. So Trick snaps and he says, you call yourself a man of the people, but you just look like a fan. The title belongs to a star like Trick Williams. Laying down some harsh lines there. Trick says, you know, I'm going to be the last man standing. And that's all there is. Whoop that Trick.
I like it. Oh, yeah, man.
Ricky says, you wear your delusions like it's designer apparel. Fucking brutal line. God damn, I love that. Ouch. What a... that hit hard. And he's like, we should throw hands now. So now they leave the interview set. They chase each other down. Trick tries to hit him with a steel pipe. Ricky Saints avoids it, but Trick grabs another one, smacks him in the abdomen, threatens him, and walks away, I believe still holding the title. So we got our last man standing match next week. I am excited. This was a really fun segment. Congrats to the, you know, the 4 dynamites over here, the fireworks, whatever you want to call our faithful 4 that all have titles from the Tony Fumble Rumble. I salute thee. Granted. So a good segment gets me excited for next week, but doesn't do too much past that. So we'll see. Is Trick going up? Is he going to be in the Rumble or Survivor Series or something? A lot to talk about tomorrow and into Somewhere Weekly. Now we get Zarya versus Ren Sinclair in the first round match for the Speed Tournament. Zarya wins here, trying to get Sol Ruka's title back. I don't know what they're doing, though, because later on they basically say that Sol wants to get her title back, so Zarya has to win. Then why did you give it up if you were just going to try and win it back at this tournament? Like, what are you doing? I fail to make any sense out of it. He just said that Zarya came in the same time as Julia and Stephanie, and she got left behind. The other two were pushed much harder than she was. She became a duo act when she wasn't a tag team, and they never got the chance to show you what made her special in Australia and New Zealand and wherever the fuck else overseas. So I was hoping for more with her, and when she gets away from Sol, I feel like we'll get a really big chance. But until then, I don't know. It looks like they had something special cooking, but I doubt they're going to turn Sol Ruka heel, and I think it's going to be Zarya eventually. It just kind of seems like they're going to try and twist that a bit. But Kalani Jordan taking on Tyra May Steele. Tyra May is the one that won the LFG. They treated her like a real LFG talent by having this be a sub 5-minute match. I think it was like 450 altogether. She tries to reel back against Kalani, and she hits her with a good flapjack, but all of a sudden she slams her ass into her face, and that's when Jordan basically gets out of it, and she hits Steele with one-of-a-kind moonsault and gets the win in less than 5 minutes. That was it. Say la vie, 1, 2, 3, please fuck me. Oh, daddy. That's what we got. I meant mommy. Santino comes out and he's like, hey, at Gold Rush, you're going to defend your title against Lady Lee and Jordan Grachet. Not Grace. Grachet. Funny, Santino. Excellent. So we're chatting with Ava backstage. Sol saying like, hey, Doc said I got good news and I want a title match at Gold Rush. Ava said, you won't be 100% until a month. And she's like, I'll be okay before then. And Zarya's like, it would be great if she can, and she and Soul can win the Speed and North American titles back. Then why did you give up the fucking titles in the first place if you think now you gave them up because you said you weren't going to be able to defend them at Gold Rush? Now you want a rematch for the titles you relinquished and vacated at Gold Rush. Somebody make this make sense. I've shit on Dynamite for a lot less. This was painfully baffling. I mean, this is stupid. Whoever thought of this fucking screwed the pooch and tapped into the pony's asshole. You're talking about a bad artificial insemination. You're making a butt baby here. This was bad. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yeah, that's it. You know, like Cena should have came out and smacked the shit out of Santino. That would have been great. And be like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then going over to Soul and you know, gives Soul Ruka.
The Soul Snatcher.
No, not the Soul Snatcher. He gives her the goddamn 5-knuckle shuffle. Instant orgasm. She goes flying. Him and Zarya. You know what's gonna go down. We all know. She so. That's all there is to it. Granted, what the fuck? Like, okay, you let the title go, but you want a rematch for the title that you let go because you weren't going to be able to defend it at the paper or PLE that you said you were going to make it to, a TV special, whatever. Then you're going to get the match there. See, I'm thinking too much. Smoke's gonna start coming out of my ass again. Oh. Okay. Like, seriously though, like, who thinks of this? Okay. Oh, all right. We're gonna move on. Oh, this sucks. Oh, bad. But seriously though, like, Soul, you gave up your titles. All right, fuck it. It's so stupid. It's killing brain cells. I can't. We'll see what Sean's view says. God, takes a breath out of you. This is nonsense. It makes no sense. You hurt my head trying to make logic out of it. And so Soul's like, yeah, we're going to win our titles back. Soul can win the Speed title. You can win the North American title or vice versa. And everybody's happy. Damn you, glass ceiling. Damn you. I don't know. I like Blake Monroe. It was good to see her briefly, but she was trying to figure out who her opponent should be. And, I mean, that was kind of it. You know, I thought that she was going to come out and we would have something more from her, but that's not what happened. So she's just backstage with Ava, and she's like, my first title defense, I want it to be glamorous, so I want it to be in New York. She's like, and if Ava clears Soul Ruka, she'll get the title shot, since she didn't lose her title in the first place. And Blake has her phone out. It's playing her theme song. Uh-oh. She answers the phone, and she's like, oh, it's my better half. He's going to be by next week for an interview on NXT. Who the hell is that going to be? I have not a clue. Her better half? Interesting. At least we have a little bit of intrigue there. The Javon Evans match, it was with Sugars, Shaquan Sugars. It was again, paint by numbers. Not a bad match, but 5 out of 10, 2.5 stars. Very run of the mill. Little man, big man match, Can the giant be taken down by the smaller guy? Kind of feels like, even though Sugars is not a full-on giant, but he is bigger than Javon. It was all about Javon bringing the flurry of offense, being faster, hitting like a more modified gory special at one point, and he tries to get out of it, and he escaped, and he rolls up, and he gets him in a 2 count for the roll-up. Like, he's just constantly on him, finally always attacking. It was okay. Eventually, Javon hit him with the corkscrew crossbody block for the win. You were pretty much, surprised that it happened because of all the Dark State members trying to interfere at the end. It made Dark State look really weak here. Javon is not champion. Dark State you guys have the tag titles. So why are you losing to a guy who's not even in a tag team? I don't get it. I don't get it. It's going to make my eyes bleed in a minute. I am failing to understand how, when, where, why, who the fucking what's any of it. It is just painfully baffling, and I am just very upset. I'm Milo ripped through his lamb and was eating the stuffing. That's how he felt. I'm upset. I am. I want this to be better. So we get this crap match. Dark State looks embarrassingly bad here. It's like they can't get the job done against Javon Evans, against one guy with the numbers advantage. No Leon Slater there to save him this time, but lo and behold, that's all we get out of it. He wins. He escapes. That's it. Okay. So we get the last man standing next week. We get El Grande Americano versus Jasper Troy for the speed title. We'll be previewing those this Wednesday on Into Somewhere Weekly. That's right, tomorrow night. So don't miss it. We'll be live at 9 Eastern. And we'll see who Blake Monroe is going to have her first title defense at when they go to New York for Cena's MSG show. They're going to be in the theater at MSG. So, we got Ethan Page and Chelsea Green's little celebration for winning the AAA mixed tag team titles. Glad for them. They're awesome on the mic. They work really well together. They finally decided to say his name, and he would appear.
Say his name and
Joe Hendry's there, but he's not popping out of the cake. That's for Thea. In a minute, Joe Hendry comes out with the microphone, and he comes right out on the ramp, and he's like, hey, the straightforward approach is the best. And he's like, your ego is so much that you forget what good talent looks like. And he's like, you want a shot at the title? And Joe said, I want a shot at the tag titles. And then Chelsea's like, you have no partner. And that's when Thea came out. And he's like, you just need to wave your hands from side to side and say, we believe. And you have to say her name. And he's it's like they replaced the Thea part. It was funny. It was good, say her name and she appears. I believe in Thea. I like it, but I'm so worried about this becoming just strictly a meme. I am truly concerned, and I don't want to see Joe Hendry just be a joke. That's really what kind of catches me off guard about all of it, because they're doing the blue steel Magnum face, the quick turn. The Zoolander turnabout. Buy my dog. Hey, that's what I told Becky Lynch. She was still trying to contact me on Twitter. So fake Becky hasn't stopped with the messages. She continues. And let's see, where did she go here? Rebecca Quinn said, give me the card I need, and I will call you in a video call to prove I'm real, honey. I said, I just spoke with the real Becky. That's not you. I said, I speak to the talent. So what's your real name? And then she says, why do you ask, honey? Trust me, I'm really Becky. So they're very determined to get that Google card from me, or maybe an iTunes gift card. Like I said, I got a family member talking to celebrities as well online. So please be careful, folks. Don't think you're talking to wrestlers. Even some of the stuff that's verified now, because you could pay for, verified memberships on Twitter. So that doesn't even matter. Not much of a workaround there. The cake spot was funny. Changing it, adding Thea's name. They're going to go for the mixed tag titles. I think that they're going to get stolen by WWE. I think WWE is going to take the AAA mixed tag titles and make them an NXT thing, or maybe a every brand thing. But they're gonna take those. I think they're because they've been teasing some things with it. So I really think that's the way they're going to go. Then that was, essentially our night. We go ahead and we head into, the end of it. And I don't know. It wasn't anything really special tonight. Like I said, they had some building blocks, some minor important things. But they should be focused on Deadline. They should be really, full steam ahead with that. And instead it feels like, oh, we're just worried about Gold Rush. We got to get there instead. And it's because there's so many PLEs, there's so many things going on. It's hard to manage that, I know. And so the issue is now they only have these short, quick bursts. You can't even really call them stories half the times. They pretty much don't have a lot of story. It's just dream match scenarios, or that's all there is to it. I'm hoping for more, but we haven't really gotten much, sadly. And NXT is usually the one that I look forward to week in, week out. I like to go ahead and see what's going on, and what good story are they going to bring to us this time? What are we going to get that's this much fun? And people are saying, well, Zarya is one step closer to the speed title, so that I don't care about her winning the speed title. I don't care about El Grande Americano defending the speed title. That really does nothing for me. Joe Hendry appearing is great, but like I said, I'm afraid they're going to turn him into just strictly a meme, and that worries me. Like I said, besides that, I was surprised that was what we got for the ending. Thea Hale hits a pie into the face of Alba Fire and Chelsea Green. Ethan Page gets attacked by Joe Hendry, and they do the turnabout, the Zoolander face, and that was it. So you look back at what we got for the night. The 6-woman tag that opened the show was the best match. El Grande and Briggs was all about interference with the other two Americanos, so that was piss poor. We got a speed match with Zarya, so that was rushed with Ren Sinclair. It probably would have been fast anyways, speed or not. Kalani and Tyra May Steele left a lot to be desired. Tyra really looks like she needs more LFG, and Javon beating the one of the tag team champs Freebird style in Sugars from Dark State is just wrong. You don't want your champs losing unless it's something pivotal. They're about to lose the titles, which they just did, or you already devalued them then. They lost to the Hardys and they beat the Hardys, and it's just for that quick turnaround of one final table on TNA. Funny enough, but yeah, I would give this week a 5. I mean, really, the best match was the women's 6-women's tag that opened it with Fatal Influence against Tatum, Izzy, and Lola Vice. So the culling with Lola. Fatal Influence, JC got the win after Izzy went ahead and saved Tatum from getting hit, and she gets knocked out, laid out, and gets the 3 count on her. So we get to see what happens as the culling tries to take Tatum Paxley and make her less crazy. I don't know if that's possible. Until then, we'll be live tomorrow night into Somewhere Weekly. We're going to be giving you previews of the rest of the John Cena tournament, how that bracket is going to fill out. We'll be talking about Survivor Series. We'll be giving you information about Full Gear, more info besides just that $1 million match they're adding this week. We're going to be going ahead and discussing what's coming up on SmackDown this week, and possibly some of the title changes that are to follow. So make sure you have the like button hit, bell notifications on, make sure you're subscribed, and go ahead and make sure that we're going to be here tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be live, so please go ahead and join us. Thank you again to Cody Oneidi for hanging out with me earlier. He'll be with us for the full time tomorrow night live. So go ahead and check him out, Cody_Oneidi_316, if you want to go ahead and contact him on Instagram.
Give me a hell yeah!
Or on YouTube and Twitter. It's Judgment Day Era. Make sure you check out Liz on Twitch. She's trying to get that road to 1,000 followers. Let's help her out. Check out Spaz Phoenix, because I'll be with him tomorrow night. That'll be previewing after we get off the air for Into Somewhere Weekly. The State of Wrestling will go live. So go live on Spaz Phoenix channel and listen to him and I with a bunch of other news with TNA and NXT and all sorts of stuff. You're not going to want to miss it. You can find me on Twitter at Countdown Ended, also on Rumble and on Instagram. You can go ahead and find us on TikTok for the show Into Somewhere. It's Jake.CountdownEnded, but it is the show's TikTok. So check out some behind the scenes and music videos and whatnot that we make for intros over there. Thank you all so much for hanging out, subscribing, liking the videos. we've seen quite a good deal of growth lately, so we appreciate it greatly. Got damn near 20,000 views on some of the videos this week. Really trying to pump out as much as we can. 15,000 on the CM Punk, win for the Saturday night's main event review. So awesome to see that. Check out the shorts as well. We put them out almost daily. Hassan's training methods is trending now, so make sure you check that one out. I love my wife. I love my wife. I love my wife. Thank you all again. I hope you all stay sexy and have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Pipe bomb, who's will stand tall? Who's gonna break? Who's gonna fall?